My name is Luke Feast. I am 26 years old and I am autistic. Some of you might not know this, but some of you might be able to tell. But honestly, I'm very happy with who I am. There are a lot of struggles to the disability, but I feel like there's also a lot of advantages that not a lot of people talk about. So in this video, I'm going to go into how autism affects my life and how it also actually helps my life. Now, before we go into the video, we have to figure out, what is autism? Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects learning disabilities, social interactions, and behavioral issues and things like that. But I feel like there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of little things that affect me in my everyday life and other people who may deal with the disability. So stay tuned, and I hope you find value out of this video. So I'm going to start with the downsides of autism, just because we can end on the upsides and end on a positive note. One of the first downsides, and I don't really notice this too much, but I do notice it to an extent, is loud noises. Loud noises can really bother me and startle me. Like, for instance, if I was in a school classroom and someone opens the door abruptly, I might get startled. A lot of kids were all like, why are you getting startled over that? But I think it was just part of my disability, when someone opens the door really fast, it's not something I could necessarily control. So loud, abrupt noises can really, I don't know, abrupt, oh my God, what was that? And then I realized, oh, it was just a loud noise. So be respectful about that. I think it's good to be respectful about what these people deal with in their life and understand. Another thing that bothers me, well, not bothers me, but affects my life, is a lot of people in a small room or a big crowd. I guess I did go to a lot of punk rock shows back in the day, and that didn't really, maybe a little bit, but now that I'm getting older, I feel like a lot of big, if there's 100 or 50 people in a room, there's a lot of social situations. That can give me a lot of anxiety and overwhelm me and drain my energy. I do feel like another thing that I deal with is a lot of discrimination, and I'm not saying this to make me feel petty or anything. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the spectrum who deal with the same thing. I feel like when I work at, let's say, a job, or I feel like people don't treat me the same way as they would as someone without the disability, because I feel like when I work, people don't trust that I'll do a good job, or I feel like people do look at me differently, oh, maybe I shouldn't hang out with him because he's autistic, and I can kind of see that. I come to realize that there are good people out there that I can surround myself with. I guess I used to hang out with people that weren't really good for me, but then I got older and now I'm starting to push those people out of my life and actually hang out with people that empower me and don't judge me as much. And there will be people that judge you for your disability. That's just life. For me, it took a long time to figure out these things can bother you, and they, when someone calls you a really bad name, it helps if you know who you are and if you're proud of who you are and if you love yourself. These comments won't bother you. That's just me. When I figured out I was happy to be who I am with my YouTube channel and my ambitions and my creativity, when people started judging me, it didn't affect me as much, because I know that I am great and I have a lot of potential in me. There will be people out there that suck, but don't let them get to you, because you are awesome no matter what. I'm going to get away from the screen now, spice it up. Another thing that really affects my everyday life with my disability is sometimes I say awkward things. Sometimes I'm in a social environment, I say something that is a little awkward and I'm all wait, that was kind of an autistic thing to say. When I was in growing up, I didn't notice those autistic kind of remarks that I would make, but now that I'm older, I feel oh, these are kind of awkward things to say in a social situation. Just be aware that people on the spectrum can say awkward things, and it's nothing that's easy to control. I say awkward things all the time. If people judge you for these awkward things you say, maybe they're not good people in your life. It's good to surround yourself with people who understand you and relate to you and care about you. I think that's enough of the downsides of autism. Now, I'm going to get onto the good parts of autism. What makes me happy, why I love this autistic disability. That's enough of the sad sides of autism. Let's get on to the good sides of autism. If you look at my About page on my channel, you'll see that I have 1,100 and something videos. And I've been working on this channel since 2017. And I just love staying up late and waking up early. I don't have a source for this, but I've heard that people on the spectrum can really focus down on what they love. And then once they're focused, it's hard for them to get out of that space. And that reminds me of me with my animation and my music and filmmaking and all that. And I also feel like it helps my creativity. I feel like I also get really depressed, and sometimes I get depressed, but with that depression, I can use it for relatability. And people can be all like, oh, I might feel the same way. Like I write a song and people might relate to it, or make an animation that people can relate to. Being autistic or being depressed can actually help you relate to other people who might feel the same way. So yeah, it helps with creativity. I also feel like I can focus really well. Like I said, on my ambitions, I get into a trance and I can't stop on my animations, which is probably why I have so much videos on my YouTube channel, because I just bust away and I love doing it. Another positive thing about autism is how you can intake a lot of information. So I feel like when I'm learning things, a lot of that information I learned doesn't go away. Like I remember facts from like 8th grade, 7th grade that didn't leave my mind. Especially with things that I love, like my hobbies. I can even focus even harder on those because I care about those. And if I don't necessarily love the hobby, it's good. I guess this doesn't really have to do with autism, but find ways to implement what you don't like into what you do like. So if you don't like math, how would math help me with my own hobbies? Maybe I could learn to budget better for my business. I don't know, but that's how I look at it when learning. And the last positive thing that I think is actually mostly positive is my photogenic memory. I have a pretty good memory from the past. I guess it does create a lot of PTSD because I can remember things really vividly, and I've been through a lot of crap. But also I can remember a lot of good things too, and a lot of information, like I said before, which I think is really cool. That's about it for this video. I just wanted to make a video talking about my disability and how your disability does not define you. In fact, it can actually empower you. No matter what disability you have, you can do anything you set your mind to. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This was kind of a different video, but I wanted to make it because a lot of people thought it would be kind of cool and a relatable idea. Stay tuned for my next video, which will probably be a music video. Thank you for watching that video. We have animation tutorials, media tutorials, tunes, films, and music. So stay tuned and have a great day.